Hello viewers, in today's video we will see the controller XP243X of JX300XP system in detail. The main topic we cover in this video includes number 1. Technical specification of a controller, function of a controller in control system, IP addressing of a controller in detail. Then we see how to set the address of a controller through DIP switches. And in the last, we will see the LED indication of a controller and what this indication states about the condition of the controller. So before starting the technical video, let me introduce myself. My name is Waqas Said. This is the lecture number 5 of web series we started on Subcon DCS system, in which we will discuss XP243X controller of JX300XP system in detail, and let's start now. First we see the technical specification of a controller. A controller contains 332-bit embedded CPU that cooperates together to process the control function, network functioning, IO processing, and see the redundancy of a system all together. Then scan cycle of the controller ranges from 50 milliseconds to 5 seconds. This can be adjustable during the configuration of the controller in the software as a key. Usually we prefer that the scan cycle will be multiple of 50 milliseconds, that is 100 millisecond, 200 millisecond, 500 millisecond, 1 second, 2 second, up to 5 second. Scan cycle is actually the time which a controller takes to read input, execute a program, write output, check communication, and update its graphical readings. Then the controller can support up to 192 control loops, in which we have 64 general loops, which can be defined in the configuration SC key software. These are built-in loop which doesn't require any programming. It can be a simple loop or cascaded loop. Similarly, controllers support 128 customized loop which need to be defined in the programming. These are the loop in which we add interlock or can force output at any point when it is required in the process. We will see the detailed difference of the general loop and the customized loop in our software configuration lecture. Then we have one-to-one hot redundancy which our controllers support. In one-to-one hot redundancy, we have two controllers, one working controller and one standby controller. Both of these controllers are getting values from IO bus system, means field, and SCNet communication mean workstation every time. But the only difference is that working module gives the output and control function and real-time broadcasting. These output and control function given by the working module will be synchronized with the standby controller in every scan time. That's why, in case of any failure, one controller can easily shift to another controller without interruption of system. A controller can support up to 8 module cages and 128 IO modules, which can be connected locally or remote through S-Bus with the controller. As the controller is a low power consumption, high performance controller, the power consumption of the controller is 3 watt only. The controller can support up to 2048 digital input and digital output signal, 512 analog input and 192 analog output signals. Now we see the function of a controller in the control station. Controller is the core of the control station. let's see main function of the controller one by one. Firstly, all the I/O signal processing of the field is done by the controller. First, the real-time signal from the field came to the I/O cages to their dedicated card according to the type of signal. These signal values move to the controller by data transmission module via S-bus communication. Here's the I/O signal processing will be done. The signal which need only monitoring will be sent to the workstation by the controller. The signal against which some control action need to be taken will generated output by the controller. As we mentioned earlier that in I/O processing, the signal which needs some control action, control calculation will be done in controller for this signal. These control calculation will be done by the program of the controller through ladder logic, function block diagram language, ST language, or sequential flow chart language. Also, the communication is done by the controller. The controller periodically broadcasts the real-time information through SCNet so that all the operation in the network can monitor and control the control station real time. 10 over 100 Mbps redundant industrial Ethernet are adopted for SCNet network. You can see in this animation that two redundant networks goes from controller via switches to the workstation. Also, the diagnostic function was held by the controller. Both the hardware and software diagnostic was held by the controller. In the hardware diagnostic, you can see that the LED lights on the controller. With the LED indication, you can find the error which was held in the control system. Also, software diagnostic was done by the software SC diagnose, through which you can find the real-time condition of the system. You can find the status of the controller, data transmission module status, I/O module, SCNet communication, S-bus communication, etc. Now, before seeing the IP address of the controller, let me first elaborate what does the IP address of the controller means. The first 3 points of the IP address is the network code. The network code denotes to the corresponding port of the panel of the controller. The last point of the IP address is the address of the controller, which can be set by DIP switches located in the controller. We will see the setting of DIP switches as we move further in this video. The range of the address of the controller is from 2 to 127. Now we see the IP addressing of controller. You can see that there are two RJ45 ports on the controller with the name of A and B. The network code of the port A is 128.128.1 and the network code for the port B is 128.128.2. Address of the main controller will be from 2 to 126. It will be in even and multiple of 2. Main controller will either use individually or in redundant. Its address always be in even. Similarly, for the redundant controller, we also have two ports. Network codes of port A and port B will be same as the main controller. Only difference between the main controller and redundant controller is the address of the controller. The address of controller is in the odd and it range from 3 to 127. The address of the redundant controller is always 1 plus of the main controller address with which it is used. Let's see some example. If the address of the controller is 2, its network IP for port A will be 128.128.1.2 and network IP for port B will be 128.128.2.2. Similarly, its redundant controller has address 3 and its IPs are 128.128.1.3 and 128.128.2.3 for port A and B respectively. If the address of the main controller is 4, its redundant controller address will be 5. The network code of IP remains same, only addresses of IP are changed. Last IP of the main controller is 126 and its redundant controller is 127. Now we see the address setting of the controller used in the IP address by the dip switches. As you are seeing the side view of the controller, you will see the dip switch of the controller. Let's see the feature of this dip switch. Number 1, this is the 8-bit switch marked as 1 to 8. We use binary coding for setting of IP address on these switches. When the switch is in on state, it indicates the binary 1, and when switch is in off state, it indicates the binary 0. According to the mark numbering, 1 is at the high bit and 8 is at the low bit. The mark switch 1 is off as default, it has been shielded for communication. And the mark switches from 2 to 8 bit is used for the address setting of the controller. Now we see the binary address setting of controller in detail. As we have mentioned, 2 to 8 bit defines the address of the controller. According to the binary coding, if all the switches are in off condition, it indicates 0 address and it is invalid for the controller address setting. Similarly, for address 01, our low bit is on. It is also invalid as the controller address range started from 2. For the address 2, bit number 7 will be on, remaining all bit will be off. For address 3, bit 7 and bit 8 both are on. As per binary coding, for address 4, bit 6 is only on. For address 05, bit 6 and bit 8 will be on only. Similarly, for the address 06, 07, 08 up to 1 to 6 and 1 to 7, we use the binary coding for the address setting of the controller. As mentioned earlier, first two addresses are not used by the controller as it range start from 0 to 1 to 7. All the even addresses are used by the main controller, either it is used individually or it is used in redundant mode. And all the odd addresses are used by the redundant controller. Now we see the indicator and their LED function during different condition of the controller. First one is the fail indicator, which will show the failure warning or reset indication of the controller. Then we have a run indicator, which gives the running indication of the active module. Then we have a work and a standby indicator, which gives the indication either controller is in work mode or in standby mode. Then we have a LED A, LED B indicator, which gives the status of network A or network B communication. Then we have a slave indicator, which shows the status of SCNet communication of a CPU. When power is on as a non-redundancy, the fail indications go from on to off, then flashes once and then goes to off. Run indication goes from off to on. Similarly, work LED goes from off to on, remaining all the LEDs will remain off. When the power on as a standby, then first fail indication goes on to off. Run and standby indication flash alternatively, remaining all the indication are in the off condition. In normal operation, there are two types of controller, work controller and a standby controller. First we see the LED indication of the work controller. In work controller and normal operation, fail indication will be remain off. Run indication flashes according to defined sample cycle. Work indication will be on. LED A, LED B and slave indication flashes in normal work condition. Similarly, in standby controller, fail indication is also off. Run indication flashes according to the sample cycle. Standby indication flashes twice of the time of sample cycle. Work indication will be off as it is a standby controller. LED A, LED B and slave indication flashes in normal operation and standby condition. That's all from today video. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any question or suggestion, you can ask me in comment or you can directly contact me via phone.